What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we'll be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to BTC to Bitcoin. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, giveaway at 5K for some Crypto TV merch. Otherwise, to discuss what we will be talking about, I do personally think this is a very, very good time to be purchasing cryptocurrency, especially Litecoin and Bitcoin, and I will be discussing and explaining why that is later on in this episode. But otherwise, let's jump into today's video and look at the current coin market cap as well as a few other things. As you guys can see, market cap is 200 billion, so about 4 billion has left within the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance has stayed the same at 55.5 and a 24-hour volume of 10.6, so quite low in my opinion. Actually, I think that is because we didn't refresh. Let's just do that really quick. All right, much better. We're probably going to see around 195-ish billion. Yeah, there we go. Okay, 192 billion market cap, a 24-hour volume of 12, and a Bitcoin dominance of 56. So Bitcoin dominance 56.3. As you guys can see, that's about 0.8% up. So we are seeing more money leave altcoins rather than Bitcoin. Around $2 billion up in 24-hour volume. So that basically indicates that we are seeing more movement in the volume on exchanges at this time, but it doesn't mean necessarily it's a positive thing. And you can see 8 billion has left around, or we could say 12 has left exchanges in the past 24 hours. Scrolling down, you can see we are getting pretty affected and hit quite a decent amount. Top 10 coins are all down, EOS down double digits, but otherwise the market is red and in bloodshed. You can see let's look at these prices. Bitcoin at 6,200, Litecoin at 52, and Ethereum at 198, so below the $200 level. Now, I did want to show you guys a quick article that I did find today, and then I will be discussing the technical analysis and if this is a good time to be buying cryptocurrency. Now, looking on this article, this is on newsbtc.com. You can see Litecoin price watch. Is that a double bottom, it says. So as I scroll down, it gives us some key points to pay attention to. Let's see where that was. Yeah, here it is. So it basically says that Litecoin price could be done with its drop as a double bottom may be forming on the 4-hour chart. So we'll be taking a look at that. Technical indicators are showing mixed signals at the moment as selling pressure remains present. A break past the neckline at $70 could lead to a rally that's the same height as the chart formation. So that is very, very, very true. Otherwise, it does show that on the technical indicators, the chart right here, you can see kind of what it's referring to. You can see how we're currently hitting the high-low MMA, the middle moving averages for the 200 and the 100-day moving averages right here. We're kind of retesting that right now and trying to break through. As it says right here, the 100 SMA is above the longer-term 200 SMA to suggest that the path of least resistance is to the upside. In other words, the uptrend is more likely to resume than to reverse. However, the gap is pretty narrow, so a bearish crossover might be possible with these while these moving averages also had a dynamic resistance. In that case, another test of support at the $48 level could take place. Stronger selling pressure could even spur a break below this level, and the continuation of the longer-term downtrend, a break past the moving averages, could pave the way to test $70, our huge resistance level for Litecoin. So yeah, that's pretty much what that article talks about. So it's just really quick, wanted to show you guys that. But to move on to the Litecoin chart, as you guys can see, a few things did happen and why I think we are in a very, very, very good position on Bitcoin and Litecoin. As you guys can see, Litecoin being almost oversold. To discuss Litecoin, you guys can see we were having a lot of issues right here. You can see that not only did we break out of the downtrend, the 9-month downtrend on the yellow band, which we are currently back in, by the way. So that's not necessarily a good thing, but there's a few things to point out right now. So you guys can see we did manage to break out of this smaller downtrend that we've had for about a month. We broke, or sorry, for about, I want to say 3 weeks. We broke out of that very nicely, shot up back to that high-low MMA on the 4-hour, currently retesting it, faced some issues, and as you guys can see, right as we were about to cross over that red band, you guys can see with the high volume pushing us down and the high pressure, we fell and are actually bouncing off the top of the previous resistance level, which is a potential good thing. I do think this is temporary. I do think we will shoot right back up to $55 and break out of this downtrend, which is kind of key for movement back up up to $70, which I'll show you on the daily charts. But you can see that we are quite low on the on the relative strength index, only at 35, so plenty of potential to move upwards from that. And then moving things out to the daily charts, you guys can see what exactly I'm talking about. So you can see that we were facing a lot of resistance trying to break out of the downtrend. You can see we've tested it at the top here. We've now tested it here as well. And you can see we did break bearish from that and are now using this downtrend as a support instead of a resistance. So it is very possible that we could start a new candle and break back out and get above $50, since that is a major support for Litecoin. And if indeed we do break above, I do think shooting up to $70, this white line right here is pretty key, and where I think it's going to project, my projected target is for the price level of Litecoin. So if we do manage to consolidate out, break back above the $55 level, which I do think we will do, we should kind of shoot up quite quickly to $70 before maybe seeing a small correction in the price. Moving on to Bitcoin. So why I think we're not actually going to be going down much farther, and why I think this is a very good buying opportunity, is because we just dipped. Like, this is a very recent dip within the past, like, I want to say 8 hours to 12 hours. You can see we saw a massive spike downwards, went down to $6,200 back from $6,500. So a $300 dip in the price of Bitcoin within 4-hour period. And you can see what that did to the RSIs. It took us from a 55 all the way down to a 30, about to enter a oversold market, which in most cases means the price is about to correct and go back up, as well as that's probably the rock bottom for the short term of the market. Yes, there is more potential on the daily for us to continue to go down, but for the short term, it looks like we are going to slightly correct. As you can see, when we were at $6,200 even, we were quite entering the oversold territory, but as you can see, we have corrected up from that. We used the small yellow uptrend you can see here as a support and bounced up off of that quite nicely. You can see 62.84 is now going to be a resistance level for Bitcoin. So we should break above that quite soon, in my opinion. I don't think this is going to be a long-term trend. I do think we should retest this high-low MMA, as you guys can see, acting as such a huge resistance on the market. And then if I was to just jump into the daily, you guys can see what it is that I am talking about. So very interesting that we actually did fall. As you guys can see, we did have this Elliott wave forming, and you can see we did fall, but that doesn't mean we're not headed to E. It's very possible that this could have been D, and now we're looking for an E, or we could move this into the middle, mainly because if you look at the size of this triangle right here, if I draw this up, you can see this is the triangle that I'm referring to. The fact that we kind of hit it quite early, where point D would be over here, we have a lot more space left in this triangle. So a correction on the graph could possibly be in my favor, and just moving it over here could potentially lead to, again, another movement back up to E. As you guys can see, only around 40 on the RSI, so still plenty of potential to move up higher. Another thing to notice too is that could be a double bottom. You see we have 1 and now 2 on the Bitcoin chart and also on the Litecoin, so that could be an indicator that we should or could potentially slide up. You can see how much of a support this line is acting. You can see we bounced off it here. We've tested it here, we've tested it here. So this is now the 5th or 4th time we are testing this support line right here. So I do not think we should be breaking that. I'd be very shocked if we do, but we are setting higher lows, you know. The last low, starting it off, was at $5,800. The next low was at $6,000. Then it was $61.67, and now it is $62.61. So it is very possible that we will set a new higher low and continue that movement up, which is a bullish formation, and then we could potentially see a breakout bringing us up to the high-low MMA, and if not, get us above that and start using it as support and then taking the price higher. So these are very good buying opportunities. I do recommend, and I am buying currently at the current price level, because I do think this is a small correction and we will shoot to E very, very, very soon. Moving on to Ethereum, you can see a small dip there, bringing us back down to support at around $200. You can see price level is 195 at the current level. So I don't think that is going to stay like that. I do think we are going to break back up and retest that downtrend. You can see we've done it in the past. That is why we fell. We've done it before. That is why we fell. So I do think we're kind of leading up into a very, very, very nice region. The RSI is turning to be more bearish. As you can see, we're about to enter that overbought territory. So actually short-term bullish, long-term bearish until we can break this downtrend. But it does seem to be coming to a close. Only about a week or two left before we see what really happens at that 163 level. So it's very possible we could see Ethereum going much lower. Lastly, XRP. So XRP is channeling in between right here, these two yellow lines that I've drawn on this descending triangle. As you can see, it is trying currently to break out of it, and it's not having much progress right now, but it's very possible that next week's candle, because we are looking at this on the weekly, next week's candle could bring us farther out. And if we do, we would potentially see a very nice spike in the price of XRP. But otherwise, that's going to sum up the episode for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, giveaway at 5K, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.